I put my hand on my heart to say if it wasn't for meeting the girls that I met all those years ago, I wouldn't be here today and my daughter would have no mum.
For 44-year-old Ramon, the girls are so much more than friends. They're her lifeline.
Whether you call it a circle or a tribe or a gaggle, you need it.
Ramon devoted almost 20 years of her life to the army as a transport driver and a postal clerk.
I liked the connection, the mateship, the support, the different places that you got to travel.
But it also meant leaving behind friends and family for months on end. 4 overseas deployments in just 6 years took a heavy toll.
It was really hard to cope with. I just sort of got on with it. I guess that's what you're taught to do. You just suck it up and soldier on, so to speak.
During a break between deployments, Ramon started struggling with her mental health.
I was housebound for a little while and the explosions that were going off in Iraq, I felt like it was happening here at home, and I was walking around on all fours because I was really terrified of something was going to happen to me.
But before she knew it, she was back on the front line.
Afghanistan was once again another foreign country. Within 2 days we had a mortar attack and it was midnight, and I remember running out. I had one boot on, I had my weapon under my arm. I was pretty much in tears and I was like, holy dooly, we're in the thick of it now.
When a back injury brought an abrupt end to her military career in 2012, it sent her down a dark path.
I was lost, I was frightened. My lowest point was when I wanted to take my own life. I can talk about it now and I sort of have a bit of a giggle in my head because I was walking around my house saying goodbye to everything. And I went into my daughter's room and I picked up her little clothes and I thought to myself, if I decide that I don't want to be here anymore, then she's not going to have her mum. And I thought, I can do this. I can pull myself together. I can get help and I can be a better person for my daughter.
And that's what she did, seeking treatment at a mental health facility. It's where she was finally diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety and depression.
The times when I deployed, I had a battle buddy. I guess I longed for that when I was out. Like I wanted someone to say, hey, Ramon, it's going to be okay. We've got your back.
Around 20% of the ADF workforce is women. Yet a new study found the general public still has a dominant image of veterans as men.
Male veterans do get more emphasis because it's a dominant male culture. The community thinks of a veteran as a male white veteran. I think it will take a little bit longer for the general community and services at large to recognise women's important role in the Australian Defence Force.
Researcher Tiffany Sharp says women face unique, long-term hurdles in their lives after the military and often feel invisible.
One of the main themes we found was the loss of identity in trying to fit in whilst they were in service, and then trying to have that sense of self and identity post-service. They were really trying to fit into a highly masculinized culture.
I tried to join organisations that were predominantly run by males. So when I was taking my female veterans issues to the table, I was pretty much getting shooed away because I had never experienced it.
Let down by the lack of ex-service organisations for women, Ramon decided to start her own group, co-founding the Women Veterans Network Australia.
Welcome to our catch-up. Just like to thank everyone for turning up today. If you want to go to the dawn service in the city, it's 5:30. The dawn service at Tharangara will be at 5:40.
There are now over 25 groups around Australia providing support to 3,000 female veterans.
There was nothing like this before I joined. So who do you speak to as an ex-army officer? There's no one to connect to within the community.
Well, when I was in the military, I was equal to the men. So once you leave, you lose that identity. So this gatherings, it made me talk to people again.
It did save me. I was at a point in my life where leaving the army on medical discharge, I wasn't in a good headspace, and I've been coming for 2 years, so it's a very special group. You march on Anzac Day, you wear your medals and people look at you and go, yep, wrong side, love. There's more women's veterans groups needed, definitely.
And today, women from the network found strength, uniting at Anzac Day marches across the country.
I decided to march because I think it's time that I just recognise that I served the country.
We all need somebody. We need someone next to us, someone in front of us, and marching today shows that we are all together and that we can help and assist each other as female veterans.
It's been quite emotional. We have this sense of, it's a real safe space and we felt really together today.
This is my first march. I was a shy veteran, but I'm starting to come out of my shell, reconnecting with other veterans, and met a great bunch of women today, and I can't wait to meet up with them again in the near future.
I feel like I've got an identity. I feel like I've got a purpose. And if I could just save one person's life, well, then I've done some justice.
Absolutely love what Ramon's doing there. And it's interesting, a few years ago I got to sit and have dinner up at Townsville with some female army officers, and they are the most unbelievable, strong, kick-ass women you would ever hope to meet. I love spending time with them and I love being in their company. But to see what can happen when they get discharged, and it was fascinating. I've heard a couple of interviews today on the radio about women saying, female veterans saying that often they go and march and people just assume they're someone's partner or someone's daughter, and they've got their father's, on behalf of, father or grandfather. And we need to understand it, and it was referred to in that story that these women have served the country, and it's great to see them coming out of their shell and being really proud to be veterans.
I do think it's a very female trait to diminish your role in things, and for those women to consider that that's what they were doing and now recognise that and go to change it. Ramon, you're an absolute legend.
Yeah, she certainly is. And if this story has raised any concerns for veterans, please reach out to Open Arms on 1800 011 046, or you can also call Lifeline on 13 11 14.
And if you would like more info on the Women Veterans Network Australia, head to our website. It's all there.